Hello everybody, welcome back. This is my second tutorial in emerging technologies. I am Andrew, or Andre Leducer, and my first tutorial was the 3 different cameras in UDK, so I'm coming back to you with another UDK tutorial based on the menus in UDK. Uh, so the menus in UDK are pretty much just like options menus, like menus when you just start the game, like there's play button, multiplayer options. If you hit the play button, you might go into another menu to determine how the game is played, what map, how many characters, how many uh, enemies, the difficulty, all sorts of good stuff. And so here I'm just going to show you a quick making your own sort of menu to put in, or how I made my own menu. And I'll link a couple tutorials based off of those menus. They're really pretty easy to do. Every UDK menu is made in Flash. Obnoxiously, it's made in Flash. There's a very small amount of action script to be done. It's not difficult, but it's a little tidbit tedious. Personally, I would rather not do Flash, but it's not my engine. So to make things simple, we start with 5 layers right here. Actions, buttons, text, opaque, and background. You don't need the opaque layer. The opaque layer just basically dims my background. The buttons clearly are both 2 buttons. And the actions layer is for my action scripts for the buttons. And the background is Kamina. It's just, you don't really need to have Kamina. And I actually have a menu and a submenu. Now you don't necessarily need the submenu, but just how I said, when you hit the play button in UDK, it also does take you to another menu to determine how you play the game, characters, etc. So here's a way to show that. And just basically what I did is I put the buttons on their own layer, and each situation has different buttons. It says sub menu, one says main menu. And then I had coded the buttons themselves in ActionScript. And basically, what each button does is button to submenu, which goes to frame 5 into my submenu right here. And I don't know why I'm moving that around. And then the exit button basically just to exit the game. And then for the submenu, what I have is play the map and then have a button go back to the main menu. So I'm going to preview this in Flash. So hit submenu, nothing works, nothing wants to work, and hit exit. So this is working all dandy, even though it's not button clicking, but we can worry about that in UDK editor. So what UDK needs is the Swift file, so you need to hit Control Enter. This is very important because the Swift file is everything it needs. It doesn't even need the Flash file. I don't really care what you do with the Flash file. It doesn't matter to me. So go into UDK editor. As it quietly loads. Please load. There we go. I'll open Unreal Frontend too. So, just enjoying a nice Monday. I'm doing this early because I'm heading to DC for an anime convention. So, I'm probably earlier than most of the videos, but, still week 6, so still due, I guess. There's another piece of ActionScript code that I'll go over later, just to my UDK actually shows that piece very well when I click on the button to go to submenu. Yeah, I don't want to edit it. So once you're done with all the Flash and you have the Swift file itself, I can talk about that. Where you're gonna need to put the Swift file into UDK, development, into Flash, no, into something, I don't remember. Content, somewhere in here. Flash. Alright. UDK Flash, and then I believe I made my own. Yeah, I made my own folder, emerging tech. I double clicked it, and then I put the Flash and the Swift just so I have a backup of the Flash. And I put the Swift in here. So basically, what you're gonna need to do, first thing, is have a map. You really don't need any sort of map. I'm gonna open the level that I was using, just because it has all of the Kismet already. Import. So you're gonna want to go find your Flash project, emerging tech, and hit open, and it'll bring you to of course it doesn't want to show. Alright, so import UDK, not cooked PC, stop that, Flash, emerging tech, bitpop bam. It's okay. And then this shows up, the texture 2D and the emerging tech tutorial. So you want to keep this loaded. That clicked on. Yellow boxed. Beautiful. Beautiful yellow box. And this just doesn't want to work. Alright, there we go. Okay, cool. So, now that that's opened and everything, and Unreal Kismet, please. Alright. And then how the Kismet works is basically to operate the Kismet with the menu itself, you have to plug in the commands and how the player spawns. So you have the player spawn. What is going on with? If I just minimize that, no, don't want to. All right. So you have the player spawn go into this toggle cinematic mode, and you don't really need to touch that at all. And all of this is connected to the player, but toggle cinematic mode just allows me to use this menu. So this OpenGFX movie actually, now that I have that highlighted, I can just click this object selected in content browser and it'll just put it right there. Really easy. And then to make this work on level load, I have to add a level load Kismet object and connect it to the in. So that's all said and done. We need to make the buttons work. So we also have two console commands right here for those buttons. We have one for quit and we have one for open DM deck. Now we only have two because the buttons actually for submenu and main menu are coded in Flash, so it'll swap between the two, main menu and submenu. So what we do in these console commands is we open this set action console command or sequential action and right here you put either whatever map you want to open, like open DM deck UDK is what I have here, and then in the FS command, you want to hit that green button again so it switches to your menu. Also with the second console command, which quits, you have quit right here. It'll learn and exit out. And you also need to use the green button again here and see the FS command as exit game. And right here is play map. So exit game is going to look at console command and be like, alright, I gotta get out of here. And then play map, see how I have it labeled, so it's a lot easier to notice. I also have exit game. It's connected to console command, and it looks at console command and is like, alright, cool. Gonna play DM deck or whatever you may have loaded. And for all this to work, you need to connect every target to the player so the player can click on it. Once that's all said and done, you can save your map, and my computer really just doesn't want to hang out today. Alright, close that out. What you want to do with you're going to have to click build all, which is basically just to build the map, because now your menu is in the map itself, like it is the map. You don't really have to have a player spawn, but you'll understand later when I open it, like why you don't need a player spawn. So I'm not going to save because mine's already all set and everything. And then what you want to go into is your back to your UDK game config, and you want to open default editor.ini. Now what we need to do is set your map that you had made for your menu into the local map and the regular map. So put your map name in map equals and local map equals. Right now I have trying to learn, which is just, I'm basically just trying to learn UDK this entire quarter, so I just kind of threw it on in there. Pretty simple stuff. So now there's also another piece in here. An engine.packages to force cook per map. I also added a .package trying to learn, which is just my map package for trying to learn map. And then once that's all done, you want to basically just have everything cook. Or you could run through the whole thing either way. I did cook, clean, and full recook. And then I can go into my UDK game because it is ready for me to take a look at. So I'm just going to double click on UDK. And now that I have all of that with the default engine.ini especially, it looks at the map because I had quote-unquote cooked it. And now I have my main menu. Clearly it's just a basic main menu, nothing flashy or crazy. So I can hit submenu and it brings me to the submenu. I can hit back and it brings me to the main menu. When I hit submenu and play, it goes to DM deck, just how I had it in Kismet Editor. Let me quietly leave for Oh wow, look at that! So cool. Alright, so we exit, and it's back to that trying to learn. Now you heard that respawn thing, so technically I am quote-unquote in this map, but I'm not. So I hit exit, and it takes me out. So what I wanted to show you is a piece of flash code that I didn't talk about, that you can clearly see what happens with it. Now you see my sweet sort of mouse right here that I'm moving around. Once I go into that main menu, into the sub menu, it seems that my mouse kind of goes under my buttons, and that's because right here it doesn't, no big deal. There is a function that fixes the mouse when you go into each menu, and I only have it in main menu and not in sub menu. What it does is it just redraws, removes the mouse and just redraws it. So basically that's my tutorial. With these menus, you don't just need to edit the menus for UDK. You can do all sorts of things. You can add menus into the game. This would be a much better way to do loadouts. Like right now in my game, I have random loadouts. So I want this sort of menu system so I can choose which one I want to do. Do I want to be a heavy? Do I want to be a stealth character, etc.? Making menus in-game is a little more difficult, but it definitely can be done. I've seen it done. I'll also link a tutorial to that. And thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys all in a couple weeks.